Hey, what's going on, man? It's Dennis Haley. I am the author of the playbook, The Art of Dreaming. Um, just want to say a special thank you to Kelly Cole and the Publishing Advantage Group team. Man, they were with me from day one until the time I finished, and still with me to this day. What a blessing to have them be with me and to walk me through this journey and to be a part of this journey. They have been nothing but class acts and they know what they're talking about. And just again, it is a blessing to be a part of this team and for them to guide me down the path to success. So thank you for everything that you have done. I look forward to many more projects with you guys and continue to be a blessing to many. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Author's Corner. I'm your host, Mr. Kelly Cole, and today we got another special guest, another one of our authors at Publishing Advantage Group. Give it up for Miss Veronika Jackson. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Good stuff. Thank you for joining us today. So, The Woman I Am is the title of your book. Before we get into the contents of the book, what did it feel like when you saw that thing hit #1 on Amazon?
Look here, I was coming from another group meeting, and when I seen it had hit #1, I just jumped up. I was outside in the parking lot, and I called a friend of mine, and I said, Christine, I'm #1. I'm #1. And it was a feeling like no other, Kelly. I've never felt that before.
Wow, good stuff. So give a little bit of your background and then we'll talk about the book. So like where you're from, tell them you're an artist, all of those things. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay, all right. Well, as you all know, I'm Veronika Jackson. I'm an acoustic folk blues artist. I'm originally from St. Petersburg, Florida. Now I live in Decatur, Georgia. And I love being a folk artist. I sang the folk, I sang the blues. I encourage people through my music. I was listening to some of my music the other day and I realized that my music is storytelling.
Mm,
It's history. And that is what I enjoy doing. So now, as an author, I'm able to share that with many people. And that's a wonderful feeling.
good stuff. How did you get into music, doing music? How did you know you had that gift?
Well, Kelly, as I was a young person, always liked music. The family music was in the house.
Mhm.
But when I was in grade school, we would have choirs. And I would join one of the choirs, but I've always liked music, and it didn't really hit me until I met another artist, and she said, "You know, you can sing, so you should go out and buy a guitar, and I'll help you, and you don't have to worry about a band." But I tell you, I did it for a long time, but now I really know that I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Mm. That's a beautiful thing. So how many years have you been doing music?
Uh, Close to 50.
Praise God. That's a blessing.
It is. It is.
That is
I
a blessing.
enjoy it. I
Mhm.
enjoy it.
What
50
what do you
years, but all of it was not as enjoyable because, when you're learning this stuff and you're beginning, it's a struggle
Mhm.
to know that you're talented enough to be performing in front of an audience.
Mm.
See, now I can walk out on stage carrying all that God has given me.
Mm. And what got you to that point of being comfortable on stage and using your gift?
Continued in the craft, even though there were tough times. And then there were encouragers out there. God put people out there that would tell me, you're really good. Even on a performance, I may felt like I didn't do my best.
Mm.
There are folks come up to me and say, I really enjoyed that. You're really good. I like that song. And
Wow.
that's what kept me going. That's
That's
what keeps me going.
That's awesome. Yeah, because we don't realize that our gifts are not even for us.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I preached in Billerica, Georgia, a couple of Saturdays ago. And like you said, I just felt like I didn't do my best. And I didn't know if I quite articulated what God had given me. But so many people kept saying, that blessed me. I got this from it. And I had to realize that it's not even for me. And I'm being
That's right.
selfish and even thinking about that part of it. So, what I
Yes.
love about your book is that it's very unique. You took the titles of your songs, right? And
Yeah.
they became your chapters and you talked about those. Talk a little bit about that and what gave you that idea.
Well, I was approached and somebody said to me, can I say who told me?
Of course. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, Mr. Kelly, you came to me and asked me to write a book. And I said to myself, and I said to you, what am I going to write about?
Mhm.
And you suggested take 10 of your songs and tell how you came about writing those songs.
Wow.
So I did that. And I tell you what, as I was doing that, some of it, I'm saying to myself, Veronika, you telling people about yourself, girl. You putting yourself out there, you know, and it was a little shaky. But then when it was all completed and I read the book myself,
Yeah.
I said, there are nuggets in this book.
Yep.
Folks that read this book is going to get something out of it if they allow themselves to.
Yep. For sure.
But you made that possible, and I'm so thankful.
Praise
I
God.
thank you for that.
My pleasure. What has
Yes.
been the feedback? What has been the feedback from people who've read the book?
There's one guy who actually reviewed my book. I really enjoyed how John wrote the review.
Mhm.
And he said, as he was reading that book, he was taking notes. He said, I didn't even want to write in my book because I didn't want to mess it up.
Mm.
He said, I really enjoyed your book. I've got people saying, girl, you know what? That's a movie.
Mm.
Yes, yes, that's a movie. And they really enjoy this. I can't wait to get to the next story because what they're doing is most of them are not just reading right through it because I tell them it's not that type of book.
Yeah.
These are short stories.
Yeah.
So when you read one, you take time to absorb what that book is saying, what that story is saying. And that's what they like about it. They're keeping it by their bedside, you know, and I'm going to read the mood tonight. That's what someone would say.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Tyler Campbell, and I am the author of The Ball Came Out, Life on the Other Side of the Field, brought to you by none other than the Publishing Advantage Group, Kelly Cole, and the entire team. Let me tell y'all something about them. Listen, they are there to help you. They really want to see you win. They want to help you get that message out. And collectively, as a team, you never feel like you're alone. There's no such thing as a bad question. They know the industry so well that they help you convey the message that will feed the masses of individuals that you come across. My book is #2 new release book on Amazon already, and it's already an Amazon bestseller. All right, hadn't even been a full week yet. All right, these individuals know what they know about the industry and they share it with you, right? And they only want to see you win. You're handled with care. Make your book a bestseller today and go with the Publishing Advantage Group. They want nothing but the best for you.
Wow.
I say, oh, okay, all right then, so it's been on.
That's awesome. Talk about
Yes.
Ragman. That's one of my favorites. Talk about
That's
Rag.
that's one of everybody's favorite. Ragman is a special song for me. It takes me back to just some really good times as I was only 6, 7 years old. And Kelly, sometimes I'm just flabbergasted by how I can remember
Mhm.
those days, and I can remember Saturday mornings, been beautiful mornings, and I express this in the book. And I'll be out there playing, and I hear this guy all the way down the street, Rag Man, and he'll say it a few times, and I'll get up and go in the house.
Mm.
But as I thought about the Rag Man, the night that I wrote that song, it did not take long for me to write that song because it simply was so easy. It was so much truth that it was easy to write. And that's how most of my songs are. Most of my songs, I don't have to take 3 and 4 and 5 days to write them. When I sit down to write them, bam, there it is. But the Rag Man was such a historical part of my life. You know, this man came through town and he's bought people, you know, he come through and people buy his, he buy people rags and things like that. And just telling that story and how he was sing Rag Man was just a joy to write. And when I perform it, especially at a festival, the people are ready for me to say, come on, y'all, help me. Sing Rag Man. And all of a sudden, man, they sound like a choir out there, Kelly, especially if it's a festival, you know, and that's a very special song. A lot of people say, I had a Rag Man when I do senior communities. Those folks tell me, we had a Rag Man, and it was up in Philadelphia areas where these people are talking about. Philadelphia, Washington, and Virginia. They were those pebble roads that the Rag Man was coming with the horse trotting along, you know. And they were saying, we had a Rag Man. A lot of folks like that story.
Wow.
Special story.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, and that's how you know you're in, like you said, you're in the place you're supposed to be because your words and your music, they connect with the people. So talk about going to the water.
Oh, you pulling it out of me this morning, I'm telling you.
Yeah, going to the water.
Oh, going to the water. One of the things that I used to do basically on Saturdays when I lived in Florida, I would get up early and I would drive down to the pier and just nobody is out. The water is peaceful. You can hear it gushing against the stones. The water brings me comfort. It brings me peace. Whether I'm sitting out at a lake or whether I'm, say, when I go back to Florida, I go to a little pond or something, is something peaceful about water.
Yeah.
You know, and I just love it. I just love it. Here, where I am in Atlanta, it's not so around me, you know, and I miss it. I miss it. But the one thing about it is I'll go and find my way over to Piedmont Park, which is a pretty drive. And I'll walk that park and there's the water and I'll swing. But it's peaceful.
Yeah.
You know, I love wading in the water. You know, I'm not a swimmer. I'm going to be honest with you. My brother used to scare me. You know, he would dump me in that water, man, and I'm bubbling and everything. And I'm only 6, 7, 8 years old. He would do this.
Wow.
But it didn't take away the fact how peaceful and calming water plays in my life. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
What has been the difference between, you know, being an artist all of these years and then now being an author? What has been the difference in like selling your CDs versus now you have a book? Has there been any difference?
I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
It's definitely a difference. I was asked that question a few weeks ago. Writing this book, doing the songs, see, I have an audience out there when I perform, so I can easily put the music in their hands. Doing this book is totally different because as I wrote this book, it's stories to tell. It's something in this book that can encourage and help others. But it's a big difference because when I approach people, It ain't like getting a CD and say, hey man, here my CD is, buy my CD. This book, I have to explain what this book is. And this book is history. This book is a legacy. This book is something that when people really take time to read it, it's like, wow. Even when I read it over, I say, Veronika, you awesome, man. I'm not big-headed.
Right.
You know, I've had so many people tell me they want to support me. You know, they're buying the book. I say, don't just buy it to support me, read it. Because there's something in here. And another, I've always wanted to speak. This book is allowing me to become a speaker. You hear what I'm saying? To encourage, and for women, here I am. I'm going to say my age. I'm going to be 74 soon.
Praise God.
And
That's
God has blessed me to have written this book and to be able to encourage women or anybody. It doesn't matter how old you are. Whatever your goals or aspirations are, you can do it.
Yes.
You know, so this book is something that I'm looking forward to presenting it to people that know me, that's coming to this thing that I'm offering this weekend.
Yeah.
I think for a new author working with any publishing company that you have to ask questions. I think that you are readily available, and being available for me was paramount because I had tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of questions. And if you are a brand new author, I think you are the person to work with where you are accessible and where you're asking or answering people's questions. The end result and the cover of my book was the deal that made me so happy because I was fussing about my cover. I needed my cover to look a certain way. And when you guys gave me the cover back that looked better than what I originally wanted, I said, okay, they've got my vote. So yeah, make it happen, Captain. For anyone else who's coming your way, certainly. Yes, sir.
I'm able to tell a story and to say, hey, y'all, whatever you desire, you can do it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a difference in a book and songs. This book is history. This book is a legacy. I'm repeating myself, but this book has a story to tell that they can put down, come back. It ain't nothing like opening up a book and turning a page. See, I don't listen to books. I read books.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, let's talk about your event this weekend. Yeah, give them a date, where it is, and tell them why they should come out.
This book, I am doing a reading and a signing of my book this weekend at the library in my community, Flat Shoals Library. And it's going to be a wonderful event. It's going to be with a live performance. I will select certain stories and read out some excerpts from it. And the songs, the stories that I tell about, I will sing about it. Like somebody say, well, you already done signed my book. I say, come and be a part of my reading the excerpt and then playing the music of the song that I've written. I say, you've never seen me perform. You've never heard me talk in public. So come out and be a part of that. And they say, okay, I'll be there. But it's going to be at the library, Flat Shoals Library, 4022 Flat Shoals Parkway. That's in Decatur, Georgia. It's going to be this Saturday, June 27th at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Awesome. Awesome. Good stuff. All right. We're getting close. Couple more questions. We can't not talk about The Woman I Am, that chapter and that song.
Oh, The Woman I Am. That's a special story. When I did my CD, The Woman I Am, that is a special CD because I'm talking about women who has encouraged me in music, and I'm sharing my original music. See, the woman I am, it takes me from the beginning of my life, all the things that I've went through, and the woman that I'm becoming, and the woman that I am. Because with the woman I am, it's steady and evolving thing. It's not something that the woman I am, and that's where I am, and that's where I'll be, and that's where I'll stay. No, the woman I am tells how I came into who I am today, and evolving into another part of my. This book has taken me to another realm in my life, saying who I am as an author. I'm a musician. Now I'm an author. I'm an encourager. This is who I am. I'm a spiritual being. This is who I am. And this book and who I am puts it out there all the time. People tell me, say, Veronika, girl, you're always encouraging me. You always say, I said something to a lady the other day. She said, thank you, because that's who I am. You know, so the woman I am is just telling all of this book is part of who I am and how I can make a difference through my music, through my writing. You know, this woman went through a lot. And for God to bless me, I never knew how he was going to do it, because I always wanted to be someone on stage encouraging others.
Yeah.
And the woman I am in music and the woman I am in writing is making that all possible.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Do you have a favorite quote or lyric that you read?
Oh, that well, I've never thought about that, but I would think that my favorite quote is, and it's just something that helps me to move forward. And I have it right here on my desk. It
Yes.
says, don't compete, don't complain, and don't compare.
Let's go.
And I have to make sure that I stay in that realm of life, because when I do that, then life goes on pretty good for me.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Last question. What was it like working with us? And would you recommend others work with us to get their book done?
Yes. Let me tell you what, you have blessed me so much, and I'm so thankful. And it's something that I just keep praying and just saying it to God. I ain't gonna wear you out with it, but I'll wear God out with it.
I
You
appreciate
know, and matter of fact, yes, I'm telling folks, there's a lady who's writing a book now. She know that I've written this, and she'll be out this weekend. And I told her, I know just the person that can help you with your book. So I would not hesitate. When I have a question, your team is there answering me, and you are there for me. You got your doors open. You don't hesitate to get back with me, and I appreciate that. I just appreciate you, period, for how the person you are. That's the thing, who you are and how you are helping so many people, and it's so easy for you to do, because you know why? You got the power that makes it all possible that's in you.
it.
Say, you got that power, Kelly, and not many people are doing what you are doing. When it comes time for just saying, I say, well, why you chose me? Well, I'm following orders, if I'm paraphrasing in the sense of what you said.
Yeah.
So, and someone asked me, well, what, like you say, well, what make you push this book like you're doing? And I thought, how can I not push a book that a person came to me and said, write this book? I can't rest on my morals.
Yeah.
I gotta work it with God's help
Yeah.
and show this person how appreciative I am.
Amen.
See, and you are that one, and your team is that one. Dawn is that one. And I appreciate it. I really do.
We appreciate you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for those kind words. Anything you want to close out with? Anything we didn't ask you or anything you want to get off your heart? Now's the time to share it.
Well, I like to say that there is nothing more important to me than making a difference in this earth, whether it's through my music or through my book. And by being a musician and an author now, I can combine these things. You're making it possible to where I'm able to step out and open, and knock on doors that I never would imagine to open, you know. So it's all about, Kelly, for me, it's all about following my heart, doing the best I can with what I have with the help of God. I can't leave him out.
Yeah.
But I tell folks, don't hesitate to support people and, musicians and authors. They putting their heart into what they're doing. It ain't something they're just haphazardly doing. It's something that came to them, something they want to do. But I want to tell them, if you want a good um, publishing company, Publishing Advantage Group is the one to go with. They're the ones to work with. Kelly is awesome. His team is awesome. And I just look forward to doing greater things because of you. I
Amen.
really am.
Appreciate it. Can't close it out no
Yeah.
better than that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all who you are.
Thank you
I
so much.
do.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.